Welcome to the Brand Groupies podcast. My name is Carrie Bellog, your host and founder of Brand Groupies. Launched in 2018, this podcast shines a spotlight on the ultimate insiders, the brand groupies, powering the ever-evolving built world. Each episode dives into the stories, passion, and creativity driving national leaders in architecture, design, real estate, and beyond. As a women-owned strategic communications agency, we've spotlighted visionary executives for over a decade, leveraging social media, public relations, and podcasting as an interconnected ecosystem to build brand visibility and drive business growth. We make our clients impossible to ignore. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brand Groupies podcast. Today, we are joined by Ashley Richards, a marketing powerhouse who's anything but ordinary. She isn't just a marketing executive. She's the spark plug you call when you're ready to flip the switch from meh to magnetic. With over 20 years of experience transforming ho-hum strategies into business-changing magic, Ashley has partnered with Fortune 500 companies, major national brands, and high-profile organizations across a wide range of industries. In 2018, she founded eSquared Marketing, named after her kids, Ellie and Eli, to deliver bold, creative digital strategies that drive measurable impact. Her blend of fearless ideas, real-world know-how, and unapologetic energy has earned her features in Entrepreneur, Medium, and the Phoenix Business Journal. Beyond the boardroom, Ashley serves on the Panda board, raising funds for life-saving medical research for children. And she's the regional marketing expert for the Entrepreneurs Organization, overseeing marketing across the U.S. West region. In 2025, she was named both a People to Know honoree and a 40 Under 40 winner. When Ashley is not reimagining brands, this Arizona native can be found hiking desert trails with her husband, Brandon, and their two kids, where some of her best campaign ideas come somewhere between mile 2 and a handful of trail mix. I love that. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I know we had a call, could have been a year ago with Lauren and myself, and we just were so impressed by your agency and how you've scaled, and you're really magnetic, and we're just really blown away. So we're really honored to have you as a guest on the podcast.
Well, thank you so much. Likewise, I love good synergy. I love creative minds together. So it's really an honor to be here as well.
Totally. And so let's start with your spark. You call yourself a marketing spark plug. I mean, we felt it over, virtually. So what does that mean? And how did that bold magnetic energy become your personal brand?
I've always loved the word passion. I feel like I'm blessed to not have to work every day. I get to follow something that I'm really passionate about, and that's storytelling. And that's really what marketing is. And so I feel like I bring just a new energy to business owners. Oftentimes we hear business owners that are struggling. And so we get to come in and be that spark and really reimagine what their business is, the curiosity of what people think of their business, and how to connect the dots between the two. So I just have a lot of passion around the industry. There's so much clever marketing these days too. And so educating my kids and my friends on what marketing really is, and like, oh, that's marketing for you. Yes. They're really understanding the broad scope of what the term means in general anyways.
Sure. And it's always evolving, right? So it's constantly looking at it and explaining it as the industry evolves. So, no, definitely. And so eSquared Marketing's tagline is, "We build buzz that builds business." Tell us about your services at eSquared Marketing.
Yeah, so we're a full service digital marketing agency. That's our playground. So anything digital we touch. Our bread and butter is really creating those storylines that we talked about. So we create the content for these social platforms for brands. We not only launch it on these platforms, but we also manage it. We keep the social in social media, right? So people are commenting, responding, really just starting to build more of this customer service arm for brands on social media. over the years, we've expanded our services, which is great. We do a ton of influencer campaigns, again, allowing influencers to tell those stories of brands, Google ads, meta ads, anything, website design. So it's been fun to watch the agency grow up, if you will, and evolve.
Sure.
But really where we started was that social media content creation and management, which is still a very big piece of our business today.
Got it. And you also have team members throughout the nation. Am I right?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here in Scottsdale, but we do have team members across the country.
Very cool. So you've spent 20 years turning meh strategies into marketing magic. What's your secret sauce for transforming a brand that may have lost its spark?
I think a lot of business owners get stuck in what they offer and what they provide versus talking to a consumer on what they need. So we challenge business owners all the time, kind of in those crossroads. Yes, you might have an amazing product, but we live in a very loud, busy world. And so I'm constantly challenging these owners to really speak to the person who needs it and why they need it. I've also feel, and you probably feel this too, a lot of business owners like to be really wordy. And they like to be, just long storytellers. And I'm like, listen, my rule of thumb is if I can't buy something or book something at a stoplight, it's too long. And so I challenge owners, as moms, I'm booking appointments and buying socks and whatever I need to at a stoplight. And so I feel like the attention span of consumers is so much less. And so really educating these business owners on that and making sure that they're speaking to the problem that they are solving versus, oh, we're so great over here.
I love that stoplight analogy. I remember when I think it was, you had 10 seconds attention span, then it went down to 8. Now it was 7. And now stoplight, right? Like it's so small, that attention span.
Yeah, for sure. And we live in a world of abundance, right?
Yes.
Especially on these platforms. And we consume thousands of pieces of content in minutes. And so you have to be innovative. You have to be different. You have to speak to that audience, or else you're just going to be part of the noise that is in their daily life. And so I think that's the challenge that we're up against as marketers that we have to constantly educate on too.
That's a great point. And so as someone who's partnered with Fortune 500 companies and national brands, what do you think smaller businesses can learn from the big players and vice versa?
Yeah, I love this question. I feel like big businesses really understand their audience and who they're trying to attract. And it's very niche, right? It usually is. And I feel that's probably the biggest difference between a large brand and a small brand. A small brand's like, well, anybody is my business.
Yes.
I can get business from anyone. Well, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. And so that's probably the big thing is spend some time to really build your client avatar. Who is your ideal market? Name them. We have ideal avatars in our business, right? I have them named, who their position is in the company, what do they do, paint that picture, because when you start marketing and you start paying for ads, you need all that data anyway. So I think that's where these big businesses they're several steps ahead on that, as they know exactly who that person is. And so I've done a lot of seminars with small businesses and giving them the tools to make sure they understand how to build that avatar and who is that ideal person. Because even though anyone can buy it or use it, you've got a niche there and we need to focus on that.
Definitely. That's our biggest thing. Niche down, know who you're talking to, know your market.
Yeah.
So that's great. And tell us a little bit about your clients at eSquared. I know you specialize in a few different areas.
Yeah, so we work with a lot of shopping centers. So Red Development, Mace Ridge, very large developers across the country are ours, which we love working with. Yam is local, so we work with them. We work with a lot of dentist offices, doctors' offices. If they have a fun, creative spin, we are all ears for it. So a lot of service industry. And then a lot of restaurants and hospitality, because man, that's where the fun content is. So we work with a bar here called Undertow. It's phenomenal. So lots of really cool, clever brands.
That's really fun. I love that. And so your energy and creativity clearly set you apart. How do you keep that creative fire burning, especially when the industry moves so fast?
Man, you cannot put your foot off the gas, really is the focus there. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of books, a lot of audibles, in and out, zipping around to meetings and kids and all the things. So I think it's just constantly staying sharp in those. And I try to be a consumer of it. Like I spend some time on these social platforms at the end of the day because I need to consume it and understand, okay, why does this video intrigue me? I put my marketing hat on, right?
Yeah.
Why did I click on this? Why was I interested in buying that item? So I think just constantly really brushing up your skills and keeping your tools in your toolbox sharp. But it's a constant evolution. I mean, it changes almost daily, right? Because there's just so much going on.
Yes, absolutely. And so you've been featured in outlets like Entrepreneur and Phoenix Business Journal. What's one piece of marketing advice you wish every brand leader would take to heart?
I really think that brands need to stay true and authentic to who they are. I've tried to, as we've grown and evolved as an agency, I've never lost sight of what the core of who we are. There's so many marketing agencies out there, right?
Yeah.
And what makes us different is we're women owned, woman led. We're an agency that really thrives on our team members with a lifestyle that they love. Lots of flexibility. We have tons of working moms on our team. And honestly, staying true to that core of who we are, because I know we provide amazing service, but there's a lot of agencies that do that. So I think that is a great connection with some of our clients that we work with. They love that about us. And that helps us stand above some of the competition. And maybe that's what they're looking for is, man, I love the thought of hiring a marketing agency and helping kids in sports and helping their kids do lessons. And I just think there is such a sweetness to that authentic self. And so we've really over the years tried to hone in on that and what makes us different. And so don't lose sight of that. Even as you grow and evolve as a business, man, the story behind it is the impact. And that's what people resonate with.
Yes.
And I think businesses really just need to be reminded of that and don't be afraid to share it.
Yeah, no, we love that. And we resonate, so much. There are a lot of moms here on our team as well. And I remember when we were hiring someone, they said, I just want to go to the Halloween parade. That's all I want. I want that flexibility. And we're like, go to the Halloween parade, go to the conference, the talent show, and it moves fast. I have 2 high schoolers and I'm like, thank goodness, I got to everything. It really is so important. So I love that flexibility and balance.
Yeah, it's important. And if you have happy employees, they're going to provide the best work for you. And so being able to provide that flexibility is super important. It really means so much to me. We're hiring for a new position right now. And we've gotten a few inquiries and they're like, I've been following you for so long. I love what you've built. I love the team environment. And so they feel like they're already kind of part of the brand, which is amazing. And so there's so much value in not only social selling products or services, but showcasing the culture of a company too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So tell us about how you structure your team at eSquared Marketing. I mean, I could talk about this all day long because every marketing team is different. It's not that like years ago, it was like you have this team. It's just was so cut and dry. Now there are so many new skill sets and, what do you outsource? What do you have on your day-to-day team? So I'd love to hear how you structure your team now and your thoughts for the future.
Yeah, no, I love that. So one thing that I did fairly early on that I'm grateful for is I found a counterpart of me that's my director of operations that's very opposite of me. So I'm very direct, I'm very analytical, I'm very like get things done mindset, and she's very soft, very sweet. And so we always joke we play good cop, bad cop, and I'm always a bad cop. But she's the nurturer, right? She's like that mother of the team that's just nurturing the team. And so we have a great relationship. And I think that balance is super important. And then we have a leadership team that are all our directors of client services. So they're client facing, they're the master orchestrators. But as you know, it takes a whole team to make the digital needle move. So outside of those directors, we have really experts in their space. So we have account managers that are curating the content, researching. We brought on a full-time editor, which has been extremely valuable because when you're pumping out thousands of pieces of content, you're going to miss something. And so she's just that sharp eye for us to make sure that the quality is top notch. And then a couple of things we've done in the last year is we've brought all photography and videography in-house. And so that was something that we had vendors handling for quite some time. But it's much more lucrative and it's much more profitable in order to bring it. So we really don't outsource anymore because we've just been able to build in this team that's all in-house, the synergies there, the qualities there. And so it's been really good to have that. So we always say with our clients, they get a director that's interfacing with them, but then they have a whole team that supports them. And so
Sure.
that's something that we love. And another tool we integrated was an out of office buddy system. And so
Ooh.
this I think is underutilized, but every person on the team has a buddy. And so if you and I were buddies, you would understand my clients, their tone, you'd have access to all their files and vice versa. So if I'm out of the office, I can ask you to cover my clients.
Got it.
So that's been really good because the marketing never sleeps and it's constantly evolving. Some of our clients, we don't want them to have a heart attack. Like, oh my goodness, I have to get this up and my account manager is out of town. And so that out of office buddy system has been really helpful. And it's been really cool to see them support one another in that way too.
That is really cool. I love that idea.
Yes.
So smart. So thank you for sharing. Really appreciate that. And I love hearing about what everyone's, doing. And I know you've really worked so hard to get, well-oiled machine. And I love that. We also love good behind the scenes stories here at Brand Groupies. Can you share a favorite campaign moment? Maybe one where things didn't go as planned, but ended up better than expected, or something where you look back and say, you know what, this was really a highlight.
Yeah. There have been so many that we've done over the years. One that really stands out is we did this Santa campaign and it was, July, and I decorated my entire house with Christmas. And I forgot to tell my husband that we were filming video at my house. And so he walks in from work and he's like, it's July. Like, why is the Christmas tree? I'm like, babe, it's marketing. Like July is Christmas time in marketing.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. We actually worked with several of our employees' kids that came in and we filmed this video called Santa's Coming. And so we had kids looking like they were putting the ornaments on the tree and my kids were in it and they were going, Santa's coming, Santa's coming. And it was such a cool and lots of really fun, flavorful music.
Sure.
And the mom would like sit on the couch and she opened up a book and she was like, Santa's coming. And the whole campaign was all about book your Santa photos. And it was so fun. And so we launched this campaign. And this was actually one of the first ones we did, a large national campaign on TikTok. And the eyeballs on this ad, and my son knew, he was 8 at the time. Okay. He knew he was in it, but he didn't see the final product. And he comes home from school and he's like, Mom, all these people are coming up to me saying Santa's coming. They had all seen it. His teacher said Santa's coming.
That's amazing.
I took him to get his hair cut and the gal who cuts his hair said, hey buddy, Santa's coming. And my son, he goes, Mom, am I famous? And I'm like, you're not famous. You're just
I love that.
And so it was such a cool moment. And
such a full circle moment.
But yeah, so my kids got to play in that. And so that was like following them around the entire holiday season. Everybody was saying that to them. So that was probably my favorite one just because there's that.
And families involved. I love that. That'll be a forever memory. So thanks for sharing that. And wanted to also just touch upon your involvement with EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization. If you want to tell us a little bit about that, I know it's something you're really passionate about.
Yes, big fan of EO. It's an international organization. You must be a business owner in order to apply. The financial thresholds vary depending on where you're at. But for us, you have to have an annual revenue of $1 million or more. They really want businesses that have employees. And so I joined 5 years ago. I was an accelerator for 2 years and then I graduated into EO, the main EO. So I've been in there for 3 years and man, it has changed my business. The peer-to-peer relationships are just incredible. So there's 220 members here in the Phoenix area. And it's just like having 220 friends that own businesses to just connect with. And so every month we have a forum group. And so you meet with the same group of individuals every month and just share the business wins, the business hards, and just we call them experience shares. And it's such a beautiful synergy because no matter what type of business you own, I feel like most of the problems are the same.
Sure.
So learning from one another is just so impactful. So highly recommend it for business owners, highly recommend it for agency owners. I just think having that support system that really understand the good and the hard that comes with entrepreneurship is a tremendous value. And so huge fan of EO.
Oh, that's awesome, because I know there are so many groups out there, and it's really nice when you find one that really resonates and adds, value and helps growth. And that peer to peer is so important.
Really.
So that's
Yeah.
really, really neat. So, is there anything else you'd like to share about the future of your company or you personally as we look ahead to the
Yeah.
future of marketing?
I think AI is here to stay, right? That's a
Mhm.
buzzword that just continues.
Yes,
So I think doubling down on that, we're really integrating it into our agency, being really transparent with our clients on how
sure.
we're using it, but also putting some framework into it. So we do have
Right.
restrictions and guidelines because it could get a little scary in that wild AI
Yes.
world. And so that's been really fun, but really just continuing to grow and evolve with the right clients.
Yeah.
We're really grateful to have some amazing ones across the country. And so continuing to evolve that and kind of challenge the status quo. We like to have edgy content, right? We like to have a little bit groundbreaking, something different. So finding those brands that love that boldness is our favorite. And so continuing to grow on that path is certainly a big goal coming into the next couple years.
Oh, I love that. Well, Ashley, thank you. What are your social handles that we can share out to our listeners?
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook or Instagram, and it's just eSquared Marketing.
Amazing. Well, you're incredible. And we are so grateful that you were a guest today. And I can't thank you enough, Ashley. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.